Hey everyone, and welcome back to Oddly Specific. Think you know all about alligators. You probably picture them lurking in a swamp, all teeth and tail. But what if I told you these ancient reptiles are hiding some seriously strange secrets, from their bizarre parenting habits to their surprising superpowers? The world of alligators is way weirder than you can imagine. Hey, stick around, because we're about to dive deep into the most mind-blowing, odd, and specific facts about these incredible creatures. But you won't look at them the same way again. First up, let's talk about just how old these guys are. When you look at an alligator, you're looking at a living fossil. These creatures are true survivors, having roamed the earth for over 200 million years. That means their ancestors were around with the dinosaurs. And what's even crazier is how little they've changed over that immense span of time. While countless other species rose and fell, alligators perfected their design early on and just stuck with it. They've weathered ice ages, mass extinctions, and dramatic shifts in the planet's climate. They are a testament to the power of being perfectly adapted to your environment. So, next time you see one, remember, you're not just looking at an animal. You're looking at a slice of prehistoric life, a design so successful it has barely needed an update in millions of years. Now, let's get into their family life, which is where things start to get really weird. When it comes to baby alligators, Mom doesn't get a say in whether she has sons or daughters. The son does? It all comes down to the temperature of the nest. This is called temperature-dependent sex determination. If the nest, where the eggs are incubating, stays warm, around 90 to 93 degrees Fahrenheit, the hatchlings will all be male. But if the nest is cooler, say below 86 degrees, they'll all be female. Temperatures in between can produce a mix of both. The mother alligator builds a mound of vegetation for her nest, and the decaying plants generate heat. So, where she builds it and how much sun it gets literally determines the gender of her entire clutch of babies. It's nature's thermostat, controlling the future generation. Speaking of baby alligators, their journey into the world is incredibly perilous. You might think their biggest threats are birds of prey or raccoons. And you'd be right. But one of their most significant predators is shockingly close to home. It's other alligators. Adult alligators are known cannibals. And a large percentage of young alligators do not make it to adulthood because they end up as a snack for a bigger, older gator. It sounds brutal, but in the ruthless economy of the swamp, a small, easy-to-catch alligator is just another source of protein. It's a tough world out there, and for a young gator, even its own kind can be its biggest enemy. This harsh reality is a powerful driver of natural selection, ensuring only the strongest, fastest, and luckiest survive. So, how do these cold-blooded reptiles survive when the weather gets too cold, or when a drought dries up their watery home? They become architects. Alligators dig burrows in the banks of rivers and swamps known as gator holes. These can be simple dens or complex tunnels extending up to 65 feet long. During cold snaps, they retreat into these holes to stay warm. And during droughts, these gator holes are a lifesaver, not just for the alligator, but for the entire ecosystem. As other water sources evaporate, the gator hole often remains as the last puddle of water for miles around. This attracts fish, turtles, birds, and other animals, creating a small oasis of life. The alligator, by simply trying to survive, becomes an accidental ecosystem engineer, a keystone species that helps countless other creatures make it through tough times. Here's a fact that just doesn't seem to match their body plan. Alligators can climb. Yes, you heard that right. Despite being heavy, low-slung reptiles built for the water, they are surprisingly agile climbers. People have reported seeing alligators scaling chain-link fences, climbing small trees, and even showing up on low rooftops. Why do they do it? Usually, it's to find a better spot to bask in the sun or to get a better vantage point over their territory. Sometimes, they climb to escape an enclosure or to move between bodies of water. It's an unsettling thought, a multi-hundred-pound reptile with a mouthful of daggers climbing a fence. But it just goes to show you should never underestimate what these animals are capable of. Now let's talk about that famous mouth. The bite of an alligator is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom. When those jaws snap shut, they can generate nearly 3,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. That's what it takes to keep those powerful jaws sealed. It has this incredible imbalance of power immense crushing strength versus pathetic opening strength that makes the alligator S-bite so uniquely strange. It's all power in one direction and practically none in the other. Once an alligator swallows its prey bones, shells, horns, and all what happens next is just as extreme. Their stomachs are like a biological blast furnace. An alligator's stomach acid is one of the strongest in the animal kingdom, with a pH of less than 2. That's comparable to battery acid. This intense acidity allows them to digest virtually anything they eat. They're one of the few animals that can completely break down bone and horn. This super efficient digestive system means they can extract every last nutrient from their meals. And do you and T have to eat as often as other large predators? They just swallow their meal whole and let their super stomach do all the hard work. Have you ever wondered how alligators can see so clearly underwater while hunting? They have a secret weapon built right into their eyes, a third eyelid. It's called a nictitating membrane, and it's a clear, transparent eyelid that sweeps across the eye from the side. This membrane acts like a pair of built-in swimming goggles. It protects their eyes from debris in the water and allows them to keep their eyes open to spot prey without risking injury. So while we're fumbling with foggy goggles, the alligator has a perfectly clear, protected view of its underwater world. It's a simple but brilliant adaptation that gives them a huge advantage as semi-aquatic hunters. Okay, finally, you might think of alligators as the silent, lurking type, but they are actually quite the chatterboxes. They have a surprisingly complex range of vocalizations they use to communicate with each other. The most famous sound is the deep, rumbling bellow made by males during mating season. This powerful vibration can be felt through the ground and can even make the water on their backs dance. But that's not all. Mothers and their babies communicate with soft chirps and yelps. When hatchlings are ready to emerge from their eggs, they make a high-pitched call to let their mom know it is time to dig them out of the nest. They also have hisses for warnings and grunts for other social signals. They're far from silent, using a whole language of sounds to navigate their world. So, from having their gender decided by the sun, to being expert climbers, and having jaws that are both incredibly strong and incredibly weak, alligators are packed with strange and surprising traits. They're living dinosaurs, accidental engineers, and underwater communicators. The next time you think of an alligator, I hope you remember just how oddly specific and wonderfully weird these ancient survivors truly are. Thanks for tuning in to Oddly Specific. If you learned something new and bizarre today, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the weirdest corners of the natural world. See you next time.